Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from SacredSoulEmpowerment.com. Here to do your monthly angel card reading for October 2020. For this month's monthly reading, we'll be using the Sirian Starseed Tarot by Patricia Corey and Alyssa Bartha for the main message for everyone. And your special message card this month, depending on your stone of choice, will be coming from the Yin Yang Oracle deck by Stellara. So let us get to looking at what your stones of choice are. Your first stone of choice is this beautiful selenite wand. And selenite is a beautiful high vibrational stone, helps to open up the crown chakra, your claircognizance and other psychic abilities, your ability to channel, your ability to connect with your angels and guides of the highest vibration of light. It also helps you to connect with past lives as well as future lives. So this is selenite. Your second stone of choice is a beautiful amethyst wand. It's such a light lavender colored amethyst wand that it almost looks like it's clear quartz. But if you look closely, you can see the hints of purple or lavender within it here. Now, the amethyst wand is also a crown chakra stone. It's going to help again to open up your higher wisdom, higher knowledge, your ability to connect with your dream time. It's going to help as a stress reliever. It helps with relaxation. It helps with meditation and centering and balance. Again, that high vibrational stone of the crown chakra. So again, channeling and other psychic abilities as well. Your third stone of choice is a clear quartz crystal wand. Now these are all wands, and so wands have a magical kind of energy to them anyway. The clear quartz crystal, you can see this one has a facet here, which is called window quartz. And you can use this to scry, and scrying means that you're using your clairvoyant or other psychic abilities to see and be prophetic and kind of divine what is to come, so to speak. So the clear quartz crystal is also a crown chakra stone. These are all crown chakra stones of choice this month. And this is going to open one up to, again, higher wisdom, knowledge, guidance, connection with those of the highest vibration of light. It helps to focus energies and magnify intentions. Clear quartz is a great stone to magnify your thoughts and intentions. So this is your last stone of choice. Again, you have the selenite wand, the amethyst wand, or the clear quartz wand. And if it's hard to decide depending on the descriptions, remember you can always just go by what you're attracted to as far as looking at them. You know, you're looking at the selenite. Are you attracted to that vibration? You're looking at that beautiful light lavender colored amethyst wand. Is that attracting you? Or are you attracted to the sight of the clear quartz window quartz crystal wand? So let's talk a little bit about the energy vibration of October. Numerologically, October is a karmic number 14 month, and that reduces down to a 5. And how do you get that? You take the universal year number of 2020, which is 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 0. That's a 4. So we're in a 4 universal year vibration on the collective level. And then you take that universal year vibration, you add it to the month in question. And October is the 10th month. And so you take 10 plus that 4 and you get 14. And that's where we have this karmic vibration. Now there's only 4 karmic numbers in numerology, and 14 is one of them. So first of all, let's talk about the single digit vibration, because if you take the 1 plus the 4, it's a 5. Fives are all about change, redirection. It's about freedom. It's about the unexpected. It's about surprise energies. Now that can be good or not so good surprise energies. The 5 can be a little bit chaotic or anxious or has a nervous kind of energy to it. The 5s can mean that there's many things going on at the same time all at once, or you're having to juggle many things, hence that idea of chaos. But it's also about multitasking and being busy and working on several different things at the same time, or having several different options as well. Or maybe having a lot of information coming to you from a lot of different directions, which again can be for the good or the not so good, depending on how you're looking at it. Depends on if you like to be busy, if you like things to be happening, if you like things to be fast-paced and where there's a lot of activities or situational energies happening at once. Other people don't like that so much. So, you know, if you're someone that likes to stay grounded or focused or, you know, just deal with one task at a time, this 5 energy might be a little bit chaotic for you. But if you're the type of person that likes to be busy and have a lot of things happening, this might be a great time of change and redirection and new opportunities, new potentials, new possibilities that are coming in for you. Now that karmic number 14 in numerology deals with karmic issues of freedom. So now again, remember, this is on a collective level. So on the collective level, we're dealing with karmic issues of freedom, change, over anxiousness, and nervous energy. You know, this is all a part of it, but typically the big part of it is about freedom. So as a collective, we might be dealing with, on a national, global, you know, world level, issues where our freedom is feeling like it's being repressed or feeling like it's being taken away, which, you know, we're still in this whole COVID thing since February, March, especially March is when it really settled in the United States. And, you know, a lot of our freedoms have been restricted and, you know, we have to wear masks when we go into the store. So it's a whole new way of life that's lasted a lot longer than a lot of us perhaps thought. And so we might be feeling a little antsy. We might be feeling a little bit held back or limited or restricted in some way, shape, or form. And this is where that energy of freedom comes in. Now, this can be physical freedom or it could be spiritual freedom that we're dealing with. This idea that karmically we're feeling held back from expression or held back from movement or held back from things unfolding in a timely manner. Now, let's talk about the astrological highlights of the month of October. And in fact, we start out the month of October, very first day of October, with a full moon at 9 degrees Aries. So here we do. We set off the month with a bang of full moon energy. Full moon in Aries. Aries is the sign of independence, leadership, take charge ability, confidence, courage, being someone who is a trailblazer, being someone who is assertive, and it's this fiery, kind of passionate, you know, forward-moving energy. So it's all about the self. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, so we're dealing with about energies that deal with our self-identity, self-awareness, self-confidence, you know, our own, again, courage and independence to take charge of our lives and make things happen. Now, I'm not going to go through all the astrology every day. That's for the weekly readings. But going to the next thing of importance here, on the 2nd, actually, we have Venus moving out of Leo and into Virgo. So Venus is the planet that rules relationships and partnerships, and she rules personal resources like money and finances. She's moving out of fun-loving, creative, expressive Leo, and she's moving into Virgo. And she's going to be in Virgo for almost a month, not quite. Before the end of October, she will move again into the next sign. But while she's in Virgo, she's going to be a lot more discerning in relationships, a lot more discerning with finances, a lot more organized, a lot more practical, a lot more grounded. All of these are keywords for the sign of Virgo. Virgo, as far as relationships and partnerships goes, also sometimes tends to be perfectionistic or a little bit critical, where things have to be a certain way. So you might also find that while Venus is going through that sign of Virgo, that some of our relationships take on that tone. Now, as far as money and finances, this can be a great thing because it helps us to organize, it helps us to clarify, it helps us to understand the details of what's happening, you know, in our money sphere, so to speak, and the steps that we might need to take to clear those up or move to the next step or create a new income or something of that sort. Now on the 4th of October, the next big thing that happens is Pluto the planet that rules death and rebirth, transformation, regeneration, illumination, transmutation, and power and control, is going to go back to direct motion. So for the last probably week to 2 weeks of September, and then into these first few days of October, we're feeling Pluto's energy start to rise. So you might find that both on a personal as well as on a collective level, we're dealing with power surges. Now that could be power surges within relationships, within situations, within our own psyche, okay, within groups of people or organizations of people. So we might see where there's this power and control dynamic going on. There might be some power struggles. There might be a need to own our power, take back our power, to balance our own power so that we're emanating it in a nice balanced way. I mean, that we're owning it, but that we're not being overpowering at the same time. And again, we might see this on a larger collective level within certain facets of government, or between, you know, certain groups of people, or within our work or family situations. We might see this dynamic. But remember, Pluto is also about death and rebirth. And it's about transformation. So there's this opportunity here to rise above, to transmute, to let go, to find a new way of, whether it's a new way of thinking, a new way of communicating, a new way of believing, a new way of operating within a relationship, a new way to do something within the collective on some organizational level. So, you know, Pluto's giving us this opportunity, although again we might see that rise in that energy. Pluto also rules the shadow side of our psyche, the shadow side of our ego. It rules, you know, things like our subconscious fears and subconscious desires and things of that nature. And speaking of Pluto, on the 9th of October, Mars is actually challenging Pluto, and I think that that's going to be important because Pluto is still not moving, basically, maybe a minute, not a degree, but it moves very slowly anyway. So it probably hasn't moved much by the 9th of October. So it's still at a standstill, which intensifies its energies. And then Mars, the warrior, comes up to challenge it. Mars is about energy, action, forward movement. He's, again, the warrior of the zodiac. He's in his home sign of Aries, although he's retrograde. So he's in this retrograde motion where things maybe aren't unfolding quite as quickly as we would like them to be. But Pluto is the modern ruler of Scorpio, and Mars is the ancient ruler of Scorpio. And you think about that Scorpio energy being this deep subconscious level energy, or things that lie hidden underneath, hidden in our psyche, or hidden within information that comes to us from other organizations or people or situations. It's like there's things that are hidden, and Mars being the warrior and Pluto being the transformer coming together in a challenging situation might cause some sort of explosion, to put it in a dramatic sort of way. You know, there might be, and this could be even something, you know, weather-wise or earth-related, to where there's some sort of an earthquake, for instance, might be caused by a Mars square Pluto. There might be some power and control, kind of fighting, assertive, you know, or even aggressive sort of energy that comes from outside of us in situations on the collective level, or maybe even within our personal lives. But there's a great ability, if you're aware of the energy. Remember, these planets are kind of base energy. You know, Mars is very reactive. It can be very reactive and deal with desires, and Pluto deals with our subconscious, which is things that are hidden from our conscious reality unless we're very aware. So if we're very aware of the energies and the potential of what these two can do as they come together, there's a great possibility for transmuting the energy, for transcending the energy, for transforming the energy and rising above the energy and changing something and taking our power back, or owning our power in a situation or circumstance that we need to. Then we're going to go ahead to the 13th of October. And the 13th of October, we have our Mercury retrograde period. Now, Mercury is retrograding at 11 degrees of Scorpio on the 13th. And it just dawns on me that it's retrograding at master number 11 degrees, and it's on the 13th, which is a karmic number. So that's an interesting kind of energy just in and of itself. Now, it's going to be retrograde for about 3 weeks, which is its typical retrograde cycle, and it's going to dip back into Libra for a few short days. So with Mercury being the planet that rules our thoughts, our perceptions, our ideas, our communications of all kinds, whenever we have a Mercury retrograde, sometimes we have miscommunication or delayed communication. We have, in this instance, with it being in Scorpio, and Scorpio is a very psychic sign, a sign that deals with, again, the deep subconscious, we might have some deep perceptions that we're really needing to contemplate or look at, or kind of going in and researching our own psyche, so to speak. It's a great time for that. So a great time for meditation and contemplation, and really becoming more aware of what's going on in the shadow side of our psyche, what's going on with our fears, with our anxieties, with our desires, because Scorpio rules all of those things. Now, again, we can have technology mishaps with Mercury retrograde, travel mishaps. All of these things are typical whenever we have a retrograde cycle. Now, again, we have to think about the power and control dynamic, because Scorpio, where Mercury is going retrograde, is a sign that can rule power and control, other people's money, other people's finances, other people's resources. And so all of these things might also be something that we're looking at while Mercury is retrograde. Okay, and then we're going to jump ahead. I do have to say, on the 15th and the 18th, we have the Sun squaring Pluto, the Sun squaring Saturn. 15th is Sun square Pluto, 18th is Sun square Saturn. Those might be kind of some challenging days, because the Sun rules our ego and our identity. It's challenging Pluto about power and control. It's challenging Saturn, which can bring karmic lessons or delays or feelings of restrictions or limitations. So just know that that time period might be a little challenging to get through. But again, it's teaching us perseverance, it's teaching us patience, it's teaching us how to own our power as well. Those are what those challenges are going to teach us. The Sun moves into Scorpio on the 22nd, which is typical of this time of the year. And then we skipped the new moon. I have to back up to the 16th of October. It's important because the full moon is about releasing, letting go, and healing, and that's how we started out the month, right? That full moon in Aries. Then on the 16th, we have a new moon at 23 degrees of Libra. So planting new seeds, new starts, new beginnings in the realm of relationships, partnerships, harmony, balance, compromise, working one-on-one or connecting one-on-one with other people. This is what that new moon cycle from the 16th for the next 2 weeks after that is going to be all about. Skipping ahead back again to the 27th, we have two planets making a shift into new signs. We have Mercury moving into Libra, and we have Venus moving into Libra. So they both occur on that same day, the 27th. Mercury rules, again, our thoughts, ideas, perceptions, communications, moving into that balanced, harmonious, peacemaking sign of Libra, the sign of relationships. Venus also, the ruler of partnerships, relationships, love, values, money, finances, personal resources, also moving into Libra, that sign of diplomacy and compromise and peace and harmony. So there's a lot of relationship-oriented situations or circumstances that may start to take focus on and after the 27th, because those planets will be in those signs of the zodiac for 3, 4, up to 5 weeks. Okay, and then the 31st, the last day of the month. Here in the United States, it's Halloween, or All Hallows Eve. 31st of October, we have another full moon. So a blue moon. Whenever we have 2 full moons in a month, it's called a blue moon. So we have a full moon at 8 degrees of Taurus. So Taurus is about money and finances. Taurus is about our personal resources. Taurus is about our values. Taurus is about practicality and work and effort. And this particular full moon, again, you know, our emotions are coming to a head or intensifying. Full moons happen to do that. This full moon is going to be connecting with Uranus. So, you know, the sun being in Scorpio at that time, the moon is in Taurus, which makes it that full moon in Taurus, but Uranus is also in Taurus, okay? So the moon is going to be connecting with Uranus, opposing the sun during the full moon. Now, Uranus can bring sudden, unexpected, quirky, strange, unusual kinds of happenings, and I thought that was a little interesting since it's All Hallows Eve or Halloween here in the United States. I don't know if other countries in the world practice that holiday as well. But it's going to be an interesting one, not just because it's Halloween, but just the fact that we have that full moon connecting with Uranus might bring some sudden, unexpected situations and circumstances that might have to do with our money and finances because it's in that sign of Taurus. So let's go ahead and take a look at the messages from our angels and guides and see what they have to say. Okay, so one thing is, you know, I'm being reminded, I did pull the cards, as I always do for the monthly and for the weekly. I meditate and I pull the cards so that the video is not so long. But what I didn't show you or share with you when I talked about the karmic number 14 vibration that October vibrates to is I usually show you the tarot card, and it totally slipped my mind. And the reason it slipped my mind is because it's part of the reading. It's actually a card that was drawn after meditation on the month of October and asking for the message for the collective. Major Arcana 14 came out. So I guess instead of showing it to you now, because we've already passed by that time period, I will just reiterate once that card comes up in the reading that that's also the vibration card for this month of October, since October relates to karmic number 14, numerologically speaking. But we start out this reading, and two cards came out for the first card. This is the first of the two cards. It's Major Arcana number 8. This is the Strength card. Now, the Strength card is often shown with a woman and a lion. This one happens to have a tiger in it instead of a lion, but it's still that same kind of cat energy where lions can roar, tigers can roar, but they can also be loving, playful, gentle creatures, just like all cats. All cats like to play and have fun. And the Strength card is usually shown with a woman. In actuality, if you look really close where my fingers are coming together, there's a woman right here. So you can see her. She's kind of in a flame of fire. Now, this particular Strength card does have a lot of fire energy in it. And it's ruled by Leo. Leo the lion, right? Leo's the sign of the zodiac that has the lion. So this has got some fire, passionate energy to it. And if you look at the tiger on this card, it is kind of roaring. It looks kind of like it's mad. And so I feel like with Pluto going direct and with Mars squaring Pluto and the sun is squaring Pluto this month, again, I feel like this need to have confidence, this need to have courage, this need to have an inner strength, this need to take our power back, or there could be some assertiveness and even maybe some aggression. There could be some power and control issues, and this could be where we're poked and prodded and pushed, and we end up kind of roaring like a lion. We're very passionate about something. We're feeling overly maybe emotional or reactive. Fire can be very reactive if you think about a fire, right? You can't really contain fire. It dances around, so it's a very energetic and animated kind of energy. So with us starting out the reading with the Strength card, I feel like we can be strong, we can be assertive, we can be confident without being overly aggressive, overpowering, or angry. And I feel like that's part of what this card is talking about for this month of October. But let's take a look at the card that came out with it, and maybe this will provide us with some additional information. So if we turn over the next card, this is the Five of Orbs. Now, the Five of Orbs is like the Five of Swords or the Five of Air in the traditional tarot. This deals with the mind. This deals with our thoughts. This deals with our perceptions. It deals with the way we communicate or disseminate information as well as take in information. And if you look, this person is kind of a faceless kind of person and juggling 3 of the orbs. The other 2 orbs are on the ground. So to me, it's almost like they drop those 2 orbs because they can't really see it. You know, they have this mask over their face. So there's this mask of illusion going on. They can't really see everything that's happening. They're trying to juggle a lot of things. It's becoming overwhelming. They're dropping the orbs on the ground. And that might be part of what's happening, you know, with this particular energy. You know, the Mercury retrograde that's coming up, Mercury ruling our perceptions and our information level. You know, Venus is in Virgo. That's also a sign that deals with the mental realm, Virgo. So I feel like this is about our thoughts. This is about our perceptions. And even, again, communications with others. That might be chaotic. That might be confused. The number 5 is about chaos and confusion and too much going on. So it's hard to balance, okay? This person's having a hard time juggling. We're having a hard time balancing or juggling all the thoughts in our mind, all the things we need to do, all the people we need to talk to or communicate with, and it's just becoming mentally overwhelming. And this is where, going back to, since it's the card that came out with the Strength card, this is where our buttons can be pushed, right? We can be pushed to over-aggression or overpower or, you know, reaction. In a way. And so it's going to be important to try to tame that lion within and allow this, you know, wonderful woman here to kind of tame that fiery energy that's going on within you to be a little bit more balanced so that we can see and perceive and communicate in a more, what do I want to say? A way that people will be able to take in without them becoming reactive because of the way we're reacting. So that's a first part of the reading. The next card comes out as the Master of Crystals. Now, the Master of Crystals is like the King of Earth or the King of Pentacles. So this is about, to me, taking charge and being a leader in practical matters. You know, crystals being earth or pentacles is about practical everyday matters, our career, our work, our job, our money, our finances, home, family, you know, things that we're doing on a practical, grounded, third dimensional level is what the crystals or earth is all about. Again, the master being the king means that, to me, we're mastering this. We're able to master it. We're able to take charge. We're able to get things done, or we need to take charge to get things done. And although some of you might feel like this is a scary maybe image of a crystal skull, I look at this as, look at how illuminated it is. So the skull is like, to me, our mind, our brain, right? And there's this wonderful light where it's being illuminated here at the crown chakra. The whole thing is being illuminated. Our psychic sight is being illuminated, our psychic hearing, our psychic perceptions. As the king of crystals or master of crystals, if we're able to kind of balance ourselves in such a way that we open up our crown chakra to being more illuminated, to kind of bringing in a download of information from the heavens, to connecting with our higher soul self so that our perceptions are clear, that our perceptions are accurate, that we're being led in the right direction, that we're hearing and seeing and sensing and feeling psychically the energies that we need to clearly so that we can be discerning and move forward. I think that we'll then be able to overcome these energies here. Okay, so it's saying that we might start out with this energy, but if you can come into this Master of Crystals energy, you'll be able to take charge and illuminate your life, listen to the messages from your angels and guides, psychically perceive what your angels and guides or the universe is trying to tell you so that you can make the next best step on your path. And again, you know, take charge of your finances, take charge of your job. It's like owning your power to me, you know, going back to the Pluto energy. This to me is like owning your power, but in a proper way, owning your power in a healthy way. Let's take a look at the last card. And this is where the last card is that Major Arcana 14. So this is the card that rules the whole month of October, numerologically speaking, from the tarot, but it's also part of the message this month from our angels and guides. Now in the traditional tarot, this is the Temperance card. In this deck, the Sirian Starseed Tarot, it's called Alchemy. And I love this card, actually. I love that word, alchemy. Temperance is about patience and balance and like waiting for something to change forms, to materialize maybe in a different way. And alchemy kind of has that same sort of message. To alchemize something means to change it from one property to another, like when you change, you know, the old alchemist changing, or the ancient alchemist changing lead into gold, or you could say water into wine. That's an alchemy or an alchemical process. So we're taking this energy here with the Strength card and the Five of Orbs, and we're transforming it to the Master of Crystals here. So some of us, again, if we're aware, if we're grounded, if we take care of ourselves and center ourselves and balance ourselves, we're going to be able to take a situation or take an energy, take a dynamic, take a perception or a thought form or a belief system, whether it's something inside of us or outside of us, we'll be able to alchemize it and change it into something better, to something different. And you know, here we have fire again. So there's a lot of fire energy, which is interesting because, again, Venus will be in Virgo, which is an earth sign later on, along with Mercury going into Libra, which is an air sign. Of course, the sun starts out in Libra and moves into Scorpio later in the month, which is a water sign. So it's interesting that we have a lot of fire energy in the cards here, both with the Strength card, which is Major Arcana, and then Alchemy, which is Major Arcana. So there's something about the transformative fires, right? Walking through or purifying through fire. And that's just metaphoric, of course, right? Fire is about burning away or transmuting something. It's like rising like the phoenix from the ashes, right? The phoenix gets burned up by the sun, and then it rises as the phoenix, born anew. So it's kind of purification by fire. And I feel like we're, you know, there's some sort of purification process, which is also ruled by Scorpio. You know, even though Scorpio is a water sign, Scorpio rules kind of this purification process. And we're going through some sort of purification process to transform or alchemize something, rise above, change, purify, you know, redirect, however you want to look at this energy. But I think it's a very positive energy. So let's go ahead and take a look at your special message card, depending on your stone of choice. Just going to give this a little shuffle. And as I'm shuffling, by the way, I want to just say a quick thank you to all of you that supported me in different ways while I moved from Oregon to Florida. Only been here, haven't even been here a week yet, still unpacking, but back to work, back doing readings and healing sessions and my videos and everything else that I do. So thank you to those of you that sent love and light and protection healing and supportive energy, and those of you that donated to the GoFundMe to help support the cost of the move away from the fires and smoke and whatnot of Oregon to sunny but yet humid Florida. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at what the special message card is for those of you that chose the selenite. Going to give this a shuffle. Selenite. Special message for selenite people. Whoops, I almost dropped the whole deck. Special message for selenite people. I think this is the first time I've used this deck as a special message deck. Okay, this one's going to pop up. Selenite people. It says distance or retreat or time out. So this energy that we're going through in this month of October, and I get the feeling that even before October started, you know, September was a heck of a month too. So because of the last month and going into this month, you might need to distance yourself from a situation, distance yourself from maybe even a relationship for a little bit of time to kind of gain your center and sense of balance again. You need to retreat in some way, shape, or form. It doesn't necessarily mean a physical retreat. This could be just like a mental retreat, an emotional retreat, taking a time out, taking a breather, going out into nature, going out on a hike, having some playtime, doing something fun for yourself, taking a relaxing bath, getting a massage, doing some extra meditation. These are all different and various ways to distance yourself from third dimensional situations that are happening around you. You know, to take a time out and separate from the anxiety, separate from the confusion, separate from the overexhaustion, or all the things that have been going on. Again, this could also be, you know, with a relationship. There does seem to be relationship stuff here going on, but it's not necessarily that. It could be that you need to take a few days off from your job or away from your career just to gain a more of a clarity of perspective, you know, to create distance between yourself and something else that's heavy. Helps us to gain more clarity about something. So I don't know why the beach pops into my head, and I don't know if it's because I moved to Florida. I haven't even been to the beach yet, but I felt like some of you are going to the beach to clear your head. So, you know, I guess it's not a bad time of year, October. It's not so hot to go to the beach and clear your head, sit by the ocean, gain a different clarifying perspective of some sort. All right, for those of you that chose the amethyst wand. So the amethyst people, this one's calling my attention here, amethyst people. It says disharmony, triggers, and conflict, okay? So all of that Plutonian energy, and then Mars square Pluto, Sun square Pluto, Sun square Saturn. I think there was another one in here too that I didn't talk about where something was squaring Jupiter. But anyway, this might cause you to feel a little bit triggered this month. I feel like, you know, that Plutonian energy with your own sense of power. Remember, this is about you owning your power and proper use of power. And so any lessons to where you're feeling conflicted or triggered or out of balance is about you coming again into this Master of Crystals energy, taking charge, gaining clarity, being a leader. You know, to me, the King of Pentacles is about you owning your power and taking a stand, taking a stand. And this is about needing to ground yourself. I mean, the Master of Crystals, remember that's an earth. Crystals is earth. So you're needing to ground yourself to be able to avoid any kind of mental triggers, emotional triggers, any kind of conflict with other people, with, you know, that disharmony energy that seems to be involved here. You know, it makes me feel like, again, the Five of Orbs, you know, the disharmony of trying to balance the thoughts and balance, you know, the situations and all the things, all the tasks that have to be done. And that can cause this sense of feeling conflicted or triggered. So do what you can to be able to find a sense of peace or regain a sense of balance again. And then, so meditation, again, bath, walks in nature, anything that provides pleasure for you is something that might need to be done for you this particular month. So let's look at those of you that chose the clear quartz crystal. Clear quartz crystal special message. Okay, this one's popping up. Ooh, well, talk about control of Pluto. We have control tactics. Control tactics. So there may definitely be some power and control energies here where, you know, I'm looking at this, we have a man lying on the ground and a woman's foot, you know, and a stiletto heel here on top of it. So I'm feeling like this is about the patriarchal system or the negative masculine energy on the planet. And this is about the divine feminine needing to take her power back. So whether the divine feminine needing to take her power back is you within some sort of situation or relationship, or whether this is more on a group level, family level, collective level. To me, you know, this is the divine feminine owning her power. Now, remember, the divine feminine is still about love, and it's about compassion, and it's about being, you know, gentle and healing. So the divine feminine can own her power, but she usually does it in a loving, compassionate, peaceful sort of way. And it may look a little bit aggressive in this card, right? But I feel like you can be assertive, and I feel like having a certain amount of strength, going back to that strength card, having a certain amount of strength and assertiveness might be needed in some sort of situation or relationship dynamic, but you don't want to go overboard, right? Control tactics. There can be a possibility of being pushed to a limit and going overboard. So we want to do this in a beautiful, harmonious, divine feminine way, where the divine feminine takes back her power from the patriarchal system, the masculine energy, not the divine masculine, because the divine masculine is supportive and grounded and helpful. But the unbalanced masculine, right, can be overbearing or controlling. And again, it doesn't necessarily mean a person. This could be about the system, the systems that we live in, okay? Jobs, careers, etc. So there's something to me here about you taking back your power and owning your power in the most positive way, but the most strong way that you can. All right, so I hope you've all enjoyed this monthly angel card reading. Again, thank you so much, everyone, for all of your love and support, following me on my journey from Oregon across the country to Florida. We'll see what October has in store for us, and I'll see you all on the weekly readings for October and beyond. Sending you all lots of love and light and many, many angel blessings. Namaste.